as the more perceptive of you will have seen after that terrific video. Congratulations.
Thanks,
terrific
Tom.
record.
Ta-ra.
Joined by Linda McCartney. Welcome, Linda.
Thank you, Terry.
You did have a small part in that, didn't you?
Oh, if you don't blink, you'll see me.
Yeah. And it looked dangerous because that was recorded, you tell me before, the day after the great blow, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, yeah. We were in Devon and we were hoping for a bit of good weather, you know, like filming. You've got to have some good weather. And I was stuck on the top of that rock, you know, and they just had this hurricane. Dead dodgy.
Yeah, but you see, that's possibly your pig-headedness, isn't it? I mean, you've got...
Thanks a lot, Terry.
Well, no, well, come on. You could have postponed it. You could have postponed it by a day. Now, come on.
Well, you couldn't. No, you've got your film crew there, and they've all come down to Devon for 2 days, you know, and everyone's booked. Like Nigel Kennedy, who's in on fiddle, he couldn't have done any other 2 days, so...
You had to risk life and limb.
Well, you see, it's showbiz, Terry.
It isn't very exciting. You're slipping into a Welsh accent there.
I'm going into the sort of little Irish touch there.
Well, no, honestly, your father would be very proud of you. Because Jim is an Irishman, isn't he?
Jim, well, our family's supposed to go back to Ireland, yeah, you know, pretty soon.
And if they didn't go back years ago, they're not going back now. Linda.
Yeah.
Your family. Often confused with the people who make the films, aren't they? Eastman Kodak is supposed to come from, which is why people say, no wonder she's a successful photographer. She's a member of the Kodak family. So,
no relation.
a foul and...
No, it's funny, I never even thought to pick up photography because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking at that video, it's black and white, a lot of lovely scenery. It's just the kind of stuff you take, isn't it? Dramatic.
It is, it was very like Scotland, I must say. It's a place where that stag, you know, the stag that went up on the roof, that they say didn't feel fear, right? He was happy up there. That's where that was. I would have liked to photograph that.
Did you study to be a photographer, or did you just show an early flair?
No, I didn't study. I just was encouraged by somebody to take up photography.
If you hadn't, you wouldn't have met Paul, is that right?
Probably not. You never know.
Could have been a good move.
Yeah. Yeah, quite. Can't always be lucky.
No,
So,
no comment, no comment.
So did you meet him while taking photographs of him, or pretending to?
Well, I was in England taking photographs for a book, and I thought I'd like to photograph the Beatles and Stevie Winwood, who's a great favourite of mine. And we happened to meet down in a club. It's one of them.
He flung
I pulled
himself.
her down a club.
He flung himself.
Hey, girl, you know.
Yeah.
Fancy sitting here?
What do you think? I bet you weren't impressed at first, were you?
Not
Go on,
really.
go on,
Yeah, go on. I was quite impressed.
Well,
We were seeing a great band at the time, so we were all pretty, great, yeah.
Yeah. I think we should have a look at some of your photos because, again, you kind of, being married to Paul McCartney, it's very easy to live in the shadow, isn't it? Did you feel a necessity to break out?
No, I'm not really worried about that living in the shadow. You know, I love life and I'll just have a good time, shadow or no shadow.
Yeah. Do you encourage Linda to go out and do this stuff herself?
Yeah. No, it is true, you know, because she's my wife. Some people do look at her and sort of think, oh, it's the only reason people look at her photos is because it's the wife of the fella. But she's a really good photographer. One of the best, I reckon.
Thank you.
We'll have a look at some of them here. This is Jimi Hendrix that you referred to.
Yeah.
Wonderful Jimi Hendrix.
Great.
And where did you take that?
I took that in Central Park, where they had some outdoor gigs, and it was the first time he ever played America. And he's my hero, Jimmy. Greatest guitar player ever.
Yeah. Now, we were talking about this earlier, and Paul was saying that you actually, it's your horse, and you put it in there and let the daisies grow around it.
Absolutely.
It took 7 years to do that photo.
You kept feeding the horse, and so the daisies grew more smartly. Yeah. That's lovely. That is one of your own animals.
Yeah, he's an American Indian pony, what they call an Appaloosa.
Yeah.
He's lovely, and he's such a friend that I love wildflowers. So when I saw that field, I rode him over there, and I said, all right, stay, boy. Not sit, boy, stay, boy. And he actually stayed there, and I had a 10-8 big plate camera, and click the picture.
I was going to ask you, I had Norman Parkinson on here, the great photographer, and he was selling sausages, really, was what he was doing. But he was...
I'm a vegetarian, don't talk to me about
Sorry,
sausages. right?
We do have this mushroom quiche upstairs. It'll be very good. Yes, we'd like to try and
Yeah.
push that off on you if possible.
Have you got a doggy bag?
Listen, I'm trying to talk about Norman Parkinson
Oh,
here.
that's right, yeah.
It's a stick from Michael
Being an
Parkinson.
Irish DJ.
Oh,
Sorry,
Cecil
over
Parkinson.
to you, Terry.
Anyway,
Norman
Parkinson.
No.
He said to
Ladies
me,
and gentlemen.
he said to me, Norman Parkinson said to me, and it was a revelation. He said, when you're taking a picture, in the old days it used to be, get the sun behind you, you see, and take the picture with the box brownie. And he said, no, he said, always take your pictures into the sun. And that came as an enormous revelation. Have you any little tips for photographers now?
I think follow your instinct. One thing, I never crop photographs. When you look through, make sure it's the picture you want. And just take pictures if there's enough light or not.
Let's have a look at another one then, because we're going to... Swans.
Yes.
I know a swan when I see one. Where was this taken?
This was down a place called near Fairlight, where they were going to drill for oil.
Oh, you're keen on that. Come on, give us a bit
Well-
about Fairlight, because
Well-
you're trying to protect that, aren't you?
Well, all of England, in fact, the world needs people to stop ruining it and leave it for our own aesthetics, as they say.
Can you live on aesthetics, though?
Well, you can live on aesthetics a lot more than concrete and rubbish, yeah, I think.
Yeah.
You know, I think people are much happier with nature than they are with all the trees being cut down and the big trucks moving in, and somebody's making money and it's not the people, that's for sure.
Are you committed to that in the same way, Paul?
Yeah, at that particular place where the photo is, there were going to be 36 of these nodding donkeys drilling for oil, you know. Don't think that really improves the view, you know.
No. Is he...
Nodding donkeys?
Are you a keen photographer? Do you do all that stuff?
No, not really. I'll leave that to Linda. She's much
He's
better
good,
than I
though.
am.
Is he?
It's natural.
You stand up for him all the time, do you? Can we not
Well,
get...
we like each other, Terry.
How many years are you married now?
I don't care.
And you still like
I
each
don't
other?
care, yeah. I don't know.
Do you like each other better now?
I don't know about
Not the
better.
same.
What do you reckon? Should we tell him?
Nah,
Nah,
no way. We're on telly.
Why are we going to tell
No,
us?
don't give anything away.
No.
Yeah. You're both very busy people. I mean, you with the music, the photography, the various things that you interest yourself in. Did you, as your family were growing up, did you get much time to give to your family? How important a priority is that to you both?
It's a big priority. That's one of the reasons I think we don't sort of tour the world all the time, you know. And I mean, obviously, I could be off and doing the world tours and stuff, but with kids, you've got to give them some time. You know, that's one of the problems of showbiz. Is not just showbiz, politics and stuff. You know, there's always these politicians. They're always speaking in the House and stuff, and it's the House of Parliament, not their own house, and get a lot of problems at home. You know, because of that kind of stuff. So we do try and be there if possible.
Do you have any rules for bringing them up? Are you the kind of parents that would put them in a corner and lecture them or tell them what you wanted them
Not
to
me.
do? Did he? Was he a bit more
Not
old-fashioned?
really, no. I mean, you know, you get the moments where you're sort of telling your kids something, going, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dad, yeah, Mum.
You know what kids are like. You've got a few yourself.
Yeah.
We love them. We love being there. I mean, my kids are my best friends, really. You know, they're very, no, but they're great.
I know.
The question they always ask me, and
I'm saying.
the question they always ask me, and it must be much, much worse in your case, is with a name like McCartney, it must have been very tough for him.
For the kids, yeah, you know, there's nothing you can do about that.
No.
You know, you're stuck with it. You are in showbiz and you're in the sort of public eye. But, you know, I think the kids learn to stick up for themselves, you know, quite early on. And they take a little bit of stick at school at first, but then it eases off. And the one fella who's always going, yeah, McCartney, Mulligan time, yeah. he eventually, you know him, you've met him.
Yes, that's my son, yeah. I'm just saying it is a tribute to you both as parents that your family are up there looking in.
They're up there.
Yeah.
All right,
They
kids.
just didn't stay at home to watch you on the television. They've come along to see you.
Yeah.
Is there anything specific you'd like to achieve? I'll ask you both in the next 20 years. You've achieved so much.
Over to you.
Well, for me, it's more, you know, the old thing, peace on the earth and stop eating animals and all. You know, things that are a bit embarrassing because I seem a bit cranky, but it's really what I'm interested in.
Yeah.
You know.
Yes, vegetarians can often be portrayed as cranks, but I don't think...
That's
I
one of
just
the-
love animals and I don't believe in eating them, that's all. You know.
Yeah, my ambitions are sort of along the same kind of lines, really. You know, just I mean, even with the Beatles, you know, you were always looking for sort of peace on earth, and after a while, you know, it gets boring. People say, yeah, peace, you know, I'd rather have war. But I mean, you know, it's more exciting, you know.
Yeah.
But, you know, so that's what we kind of keep chundering on about, and you get people like Geldof, you know, and they do great things. You, Children in Need, you know, that's what's to do in life, I think. There's still a lot of that. And have a laugh and have a bit of a song along with it, you know.
Well, we thought perhaps you would give us a bit of a song.
Yeah.
Cue.
Good idea.
What to do that? Paul and Linda McCartney, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, let's be hearing from them. My thanks to them both. I'll see you after the weekend, Monday at 7 as ever. Before that, Paul and Linda McCartney, and listen to what the man said.